Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this very important day at Peel Regional Police as we get set to launch our youth engagement strategy. We are truly grateful that so many of you have taken time out of your busy schedules to be here with us today. For those of you who I've not met, my name is John Versluis, and I work in our Community Safety and Wellbeing Services Bureau, which is the area responsible for moving this strategy forward in partnership with our community partners, our members, and most importantly, Peel Youth. As you will hear this morning, the youth engagement strategy is foundationed on many current and emerging initiatives, programs, and partnerships that are having a meaningful impact on youth within our community. And I say this because I think it's important for everyone here to know that this strategy is not starting from scratch. In many respects, the strategy is an affirmation of these commitments and provides our service with a framework to ensure a thoughtful, consistent, and inclusive approach for everything we do for and with youth. I will also add that the strategy is very much an extension of a broader transformation at Peel Regional Police known as Community Safety and Wellbeing, which is about taking a more collaborative, proactive, and forward-thinking approach to how we serve our 1.6 million residents, and is also an extension of the broader Peel Regional Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan that I know a number of you here today are part of. Now, to formally begin our meeting, I would like to begin by asking Emily Mackenzie Brown McMullen to come to the podium and provide a land acknowledgement. As she does that, I will just add that Emily was the 2024 valedictorian of the Peel Regional Police Youth and Policing Initiative, which provides young persons with a summer employment opportunity and exposes them to a career in policing. Being selected as the valedictorian among her 40 peers is really quite an accomplishment and is a testament to Emily's leadership capacity. Please join me in welcoming Emily.
We would like to begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather, and which the region of Peel operates, is a part of the treaty lands and territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples have inhabited and cared for this land. In particular, we acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe Chippewa peoples, the land that is home to the Métis, and most recently, the territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We are grateful to have this opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, we give our respect to its first inhabitants. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Emily. Before I ask Chief Duriapa to come to the podium to make some remarks for Peel Regional Police, it's my great pleasure to invite Maddie Gortz and Beth Stockhill, both of whom are students from the prestigious Vocal Arts program at Mayfield Secondary, to perform our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Quand embrasse porter les pays, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Maddie and Beth, for that incredible rendition of O Canada. You are both very clearly talented vocalists, and we look forward to what the future holds for you. And Chief, that's a tough act to follow. So without any further ado, I'd like to call Chief Nishan Duryappa to the podium to make remarks on behalf of Peel Regional Police.
Good afternoon, everybody, and we appreciate you packing this space here with a wonderful cross-section of not just our members from Peel Regional Police, but community members, elected officials, such important stakeholders, the media that thank you for your attention to this, but most of all the youth that are here too that have joined us and have so graciously contributed to this event. Before I go on, I do want to acknowledge some of our honored guests that are here. From our Police Services Board, our Vice Chair Samita Kohli, Mr. Len Karbi, and Mr. Omar Khan, and our Board Executive Director Rob Serpe. I do want to acknowledge that we have some elected officials here. I see Sharif Sabaway, MPP for Mississauga Erin Mills. Also, Mississauga Ward Councillor for Ward 5, Natalie Hart. Mississauga Ward Councillor for Ward 9, Mr. Martin Reed. And I do know that we have a few others that were intending and may join us on the way, which is Ikra Khalid, Maninder Sidhu, Deepak Anand, and Hardeep Gruwal. So if you're here and I missed you, I apologize tremendously. Contributing to this time is a combination of youth, which is pretty amazing, but we also have a variety of community partners and agencies and stakeholders that have allowed us to build this strategy, of which we have the Executive Director for Associated Youth Services Appeal. Thank you, Kelly Henderson, for being here. And you're going to hear from a remarkable young man who I just met a few minutes ago, which I'll happily give my job to in a second. Emmanuel Shine, he's just a Mississauga youth that's here that'll contribute to this. So today is a significant day. We're launching a strategy which is quite meaningful for us. You know, John Versluis mentioned to us, we have a transformational strategy that we have endorsed here at Peel. It's a shift that we've taken in the last 4 or 5 years. Yes, when people look at policing, we think we're there just to respond for crisis and emergencies. That will always be our role alongside our other first responders. But our approach here at Peel, and I think you'd all agree, is if we don't try to get upstream and mitigate the issues that we see right across our community in advance, then we are just operating in a silo. And what did they say? The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting like a different outcome. The best example of an upstream related strategy that I think I can say in my last 5 years perhaps is the launch of this youth strategy. Investing in young people, our relationships with them, learning from them, and creating pathways for them to succeed. Can you think of a better way to improve the fabric of our community? And I know that we're not alone in this. Did you know that in Peel Region, for youth defined under the age of 24, which it's a broader bracket, do you know that in Mississauga it represents 25% of the population? In Brampton, 27%. Would we be remiss if we didn't orient programs and strategies to that population and focus on just the other? So to that extent, in launching today's strategy, the team, who I'm going to invite Inspector Elaine Fowler up shortly, has interviewed hundreds of youth. This has been a couple of years in the making that we've been talking about what does it look like for us to actually meaningfully partner with and be intertwined with young people and agencies that serve and support young people in different ways. So there's a reason we had 2 young ladies come and speak or sing the land acknowledgement. We're going to have Emmanuel come up and speak, is because the strategy is, without a doubt, 100% informed by the voices of young people. And they have contributed to that, along with community stakeholders, which we'll be able to talk to you about. They have shaped this strategy, and what it means is that we've learned firsthand that young people actually have a desire to contribute to what being safe looks like in any community. They want to contribute and have their efforts to come alongside of us in a way that's safe, that they can collaborate with us, they can learn, and they can grow. And I think when we peel back the strategy, you'll understand that we are not just doing performative activities with young people. We want to go beyond that to be culturally responsive, to be trauma-informed, to be evidence-based in how we design programming that meet the needs or serve our youth. And so what we're doing today is just a start. It is not an end state. There will be more to come, absolutely. And we want the voice of young people, communities, our elected officials, or stakeholders to help shape the way the future of serving the community looks here at Peel. I'm going to tell you a very quick story because I know you're not really don't want to hear me only, but Deputy Mark DePatt, who's going to speak, he is one of our deputy chiefs in charge of community safety well-being. You know, he and I would not have been in a policing pathway if it wasn't for the fact when we were 14, 15 years old, we met police officers. And that came through the form of two different programs. We're in two different communities. And it took a teacher to say, hey, Nish, would you be interested in this program in the summer? You know, what are you going to be doing? And for me, it was the option back then was either telemarketing, which I know many of the young people here won't have an idea what that is, but or working at like a fast food place, which are, you know, obviously great opportunities for young people. But my summer was spent, you know, getting exposed to a police service. And yes, that was pretty exciting to see all the inner workings of policing. But do you know what the most valuable thing was for me? Was the relationship with a couple people that wore uniforms, and some of them were civilians too. And you realize that, you know, they're mothers, fathers, they're coaches, they're volunteers in the community. There's a person and there are people behind the uniform. So the point being is the value of relationships can be so impactful on a young person. For me, it happened to be led me to a pathway into policing. And this is not a recruiting event today, by the way, but it's just to highlight the fact that relationships are what the strongest piece of a fabric in a community are. When you're absent strong relationships, you can see weaknesses expose themselves, the lack of connection to supports, etc. So the reason I tell you that is we here at Peel Regional Police are absolutely committed to seeing a multitude of strategies and programs under the banner of youth engagement. One of the things the board has supported is our Youth in Policing Initiative, or YIPI, which is supported by the province, which gives great summer employment opportunities to our young people, and that we continue to do that and inspire them to find pathways into any career or opportunity. We also are really strongly dedicated to a program and a third-party entity called ProAction Cops and Kids. What it does is allow our officers and civilians to volunteer their time to come alongside young people on their own time that brings young people and officers together. And we've seen many successes come out of that. One of them that was highlighted to me was a young lady, Samia, and I'm not sure she's here, she's a student here in Peel Region, who previous to the program didn't have a role model that, you know, challenged her to press into spaces that she had not done before. And Stu, you know this story well. She overcame some barriers and fears that has kind of translated into her being a remarkable public speaker at award ceremonies and a variety of things. So these are small little examples, and today you're going to hear from Emmanuel, who's a great young man and a brilliant young person who will capture the resilience of his own story, and I can't wait for you to hear that. But if you look around the room, we've got here at Peel, Captain Andy Price is one of our officers who leads the 228-24 Cops Cadets program, which is over 300 young people that come to Peel Police buildings, facilities on a weekly basis. And and it's like the only one of its kind nationally. And we also have here cadets from our Air Cadets and Sea Cadets that are here that use our facilities. Any opportunity we can to open our resources, our buildings, you know, the multitude of officers around the back of the room that want to partner with young people, we will do, because we believe wholeheartedly that is a way to strengthen the fabric of this community. And so before I conclude and I turn it over to Inspector Elaine Fowler, I want to thank personally all of you from the community that are here, that have contributed and participated in our research to help inform what the strategy looks like. You'll know that now at Peel we will not embark on an initiative, whether it be a public-facing program or an internal initiative, without consultation with our community. It is the bread and butter of everything we do. We've got Deputy O'Dwardy, who will not even add a technology initiative in this service without being informed by the public. So I can't stress enough how grateful we are for your contributions, for your time for being here, and for being here for the launch of this strategy. So with that, thank you, and I'll hand it over back to John Versluis.
Thank you very much for those remarks, Chief Duriapa. In a moment, I'm going to call Mr. Len Carby from the Police Services Board up, but I just want to thank the Police Services Board in general for all their support of this work. This morning, we're joined by Ms. Samita Kohli, Mr. Omar Khan, the Executive Director of the Police Services Board, Mr. Rob Serpe, and also just want to acknowledge that Councillor Alvin Tejo has just joined us as well, so thank you for joining. So to make remarks on behalf of the Police Services Board, I am going to call up Mr. Len Carby. In addition to being an active member of the board, Mr. Carby is a tremendous supporter of youth in this community. So thank you for everything you do, and please join us at the podium.
Good morning, everyone. It is not easy to follow the chief and the amazing young people who have come before, and I'm just glad I'm not following Emmanuel. So no pressure, Emmanuel, but I've been hearing amazing things and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So first up, it is certainly my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of the Peel Police Service Board on the launch of this youth engagement strategy. First, as a board member, I have to acknowledge, again, my board colleagues. Samita Kohli would normally bring you greetings on behalf of the board, but didn't recognize her schedule would have allowed, so she asked me to deliver this message on behalf of the board, and still found the time to be here, so welcome Samita, Rob Serpe, our Executive Director, and Omar Khan, who make such strong and thoughtful contributions to our board deliberations. Thank you again. So I want to also thank Chief Duriapa and the Peel Police Service and our community partners for their dedication in launching this initiative. At the Peel Police Service Board, we believe community safety is a shared responsibility, and that it begins with engagement, collaboration, and trust. The strategy reflects that belief. It's about building relationships, understanding, lived experience, and ensuring young people feel safe, supported, and empowered. With more than a quarter of the Peel population under the age of 24, investing in youth engagement is an investment in the future of our community's safety and well-being. This strategy meets youth where they are. It fosters mentorship. It creates meaningful opportunities for positive interaction with our officers. This approach is both modern, it's proactive, and it's rooted in equity, inclusion, and human rights, terms which often get marginalized in the media and in political spaces these days. We're doubling down on the value of inclusion, equity, and human rights here at the Peel Police and Police Service Board. It moves beyond enforcement, and it focuses on prevention, early intervention, and long-term community well-being. The Peel Police Service Board is proud to support this initiative and remains committed to working alongside the Peel Police, the youth, and community partners in building a safer and a more strong and inclusive Peel region for all of us. So to all who have contributed, thank you. Your efforts are shaping a future for youth engagement and helping to build a better future for all of us. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Carby, and again, thank you to our Peel Regional Police Service Board. I would now like to ask Elaine Fowler, Acting Inspector, Community Safety and Wellbeing Services, and the lead of the Youth Engagement Strategy, to provide an overview of the strategy and some of the key actions and initiatives that will shape next steps. In her capacity as the Acting Inspector, Ms. Fowler also oversees our Youth Engagement Unit as well, and I know we have a number of those members here this morning. As Elaine makes her way to the podium, I just want to acknowledge her for the tremendous work that her and her team have done to get us to this point where we are today. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, John. Good morning, Chief, Deputy Chiefs, distinguished guests, our delegate officials, and our community partners. It is a privilege to stand before you as we unveil an exciting new chapter with our commitment to the community, the Youth Engagement Strategy of Peel Regional Police. As an inclusive and progressive police service, we recognize the importance of trust between our young people and Peel Regional Police, allowing us to empower our youth, giving them a stake in their community safety and well-being. Engaging in our youth helps us address the unique challenges that they face, from social pressures to mental health concerns. Our young people encounter obstacles that require our attention and collaboration. By involving them in discussions about safety, we can create solutions that resonate with their needs. As a police service, we aim to build on our current foundation and our youth programs. These programs have made a positive impact with our community and our young people. You will have the opportunity to hear from Mr. Emmanuel Shine in a little bit. To build on this foundation, we recognize the importance of having a dedicated youth strategy in place to strengthen our engagement efforts. To ensure that this strategy was informed by the voices that matter most, and adhere to our vision, nothing for youth without youth. We had commissioned a consulting firm, Pages for Good Health, where they conducted research through surveys and focus groups to provide us with independent feedback that helped us guide the strategy's structure and direction. The feedback was collected from youth between the ages of 15 and 24, parents of school-aged children 6 years and older, community leaders that work directly with our youth, and our Peel Regional Police members. Thank you to everyone that has participated in the surveys. Your suggestions, opinions, and feedback was invaluable. You'll see a QR code on the screen behind me that will give you a digital copy of our youth engagement strategy. And on pages 6 and 7, you'll actually find the findings from those research. The framework of youth engagement strategy was structured to align with a broader community safety and well-being strategy. It's a provincial framework that guides our service to help strengthen the safety and well-being of our community. We understand that public safety goes beyond enforcement. It is about prevention, collaboration, and building strong relationships within our community. By following these principles, we focus on proactive engagement, ensuring that youth have access to positive opportunities, mentorship, and resources that they need to succeed. The youth engagement strategy is built around 4 pillars of the community safety and well-being. Our first pillar is social development. We are committed to address root causes of social issues by ensuring our community has access to programs and resources to help maintain their safety and well-being. It is important to ensure that our youth know what resources are available to them, both by our community and social service partners, and through positive engagement and programs here at Peel Regional Police. As a key deliverable of this strategy, I am pleased to share that we'll be launching our very first Youth Citizens Academy. And this is to educate young people on their rights as citizens, the role of police, and to help us officers understand the youth concerns of today. I'm also equally excited to share that we'll be exploring the development of formalizing youth mentorship program as one opportunity to strengthen relationships between officers and youth, in addition to many of the pro-action programs that we have in place. Our second pillar is prevention. We will have the proactive strategies in place to identify and address community needs to mitigate risk to the safety and well-being of our youth before they manifest into crime, victimization, or other harms. This includes continuing to develop and deliver educational content to a wide range of youth to address current and emerging issues that affect their safety and well-being, such as gangs, dangerous driving, and human trafficking. As well, continue to work with regional partners on strategies to reduce and prevent youth violence. Our third pillar is risk intervention. We will continue to work in collaboration with community partners to proactively address situations where there is a risk to the safety and well-being of individuals and communities. This will create pathways to community services that will lead to better outcomes for our youth. As outlined in the strategy, this includes working with Peel Children's Aid Society to develop a protocol to better serve youth who are at risk, including those who are frequently going missing, identifying opportunities to expand the use of the pre-charge diversion program, and leveraging our Countering Hate initiative to develop youth-focused educational material and reassurance supports for those that have been victimized. And our fourth pillar, which is incident response. We will respond to issues that require police interaction or engagement by other crisis-based service providers. We are committed to approach these calls in a supportive and compassionate way, ensuring a prompt and effective response to youth who are in crisis and require access to supports. This includes exploring options to establish a youth-focused mental health team as part of our crisis response model and continuing to work with community partners in our Peel Autism Collaborative to strengthen how we serve neurodiverse youth. So this approach reinforces our commitment to not only protect our youth, but to empower and enable them to thrive in a safe and inclusive environment. As we roll out this strategy, we invite every member of our community to be part of this journey. We encourage parents, educators, and community leaders to join us in fostering an environment where our youth feel valued and heard. Together, we can create a safer, more inclusive community for everyone. I'd just like to take a moment to acknowledge and say thank you to Acting Superintendent Farej Ishmael, who's over here by the window, and your MC, Manager John Verloos, who is in charge of our CSWB. I just want to say thank you to their leadership, dedication for helping develop and implement this strategy. So thank you to you both. So in closing, let us remember, when we invest in our youth, we invest in a brighter future for all. Together, through the CSWB framework and our youth engagement strategy, let's build a community where every person feels empowered to dream, to speak, and to lead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that overview, Inspector Fowler. And again, there will be an opportunity to ask questions about the youth strategy in just a few moments. I want to come back to the podium and really double down on thanking our community of practice. As police, we know we can't press into these spaces alone, and to have so many great partners alongside of us is just so essential for the work that we're embarking on. And on behalf of our community of practice this morning, we have Ms. Kelly Henderson from Associated Youth Services of Peel here to join us to make some remarks on behalf of the collaborative. So in addition to helping us shape this strategy, I want to thank our partners for also agreeing to roll up their sleeves and help us as we move ahead towards implementation. By way of introduction, Ms. Kelly Henderson is the Executive Director of Associated Youth Services of Peel, which is a social service organization serving young people and their families within the youth justice and mental health systems, a position that she has held since 1995. As I call Ms. Henderson up, I also want to thank her for the ongoing collaboration of her and her organization for the very successful youth diversion program, in addition to many other ways that we've collaborated through the years. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kelly.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today as one of many community organizations who work collaboratively with Peel Regional Police, and to support the launch of the Youth Engagement Strategy. I will be brief because we all know we really just want to listen to Emmanuel. At its core, this strategy is about building bridges. Bridges between our youth, law enforcement, and the broader community. It recognizes that true community safety is not only about policing, it is about fostering trust, understanding, and collaboration. Peel Regional Police has expressed their commitment to creating positive relationships with young people, and the Youth Engagement Strategy plays a pivotal role in achieving this. Through collaborative partnerships with schools and local community organizations, Peel Police offer a variety of programs designed to engage youth, encourage personal development, and provide guidance during challenging times. The Youth in Policing Initiative, which we've heard about, Boys to Men, Young Women's Mentorship Program, and diversion programs are examples of initiatives helping to create safe spaces where young people feel heard, valued, and supported. My organization has seen firsthand the transformative power of this positive engagement and community building. When young people feel seen, upheld, and connected to both their peers and the adults that surround them, we create safer, more resilient neighborhoods. As a community partner who supports youth, we're proud to be part of the community of practice, who reviewed and will assist in guiding implementation of the strategy. Community leaders, educators, and organization representatives are able to share insights, address challenges, and ensure that the youth engagement strategy is continuously evolving to meet the needs of our community's young people. The strength of this partnership lies in our shared commitment for youth development and the belief that working together, we can create a community where young people feel a sense of belonging and support. As is mentioned, this launch is just the beginning of a long-term effort to ensure the youth are not only engaged, but also given the tools and resources they need to thrive. Because when this happens, youth are less likely to participate in risky behavior. They're more likely to pursue educational opportunities and more likely to build strong, positive relationships with law enforcement. The more we work together, the better outcomes for our community. In closing, I would like to thank Peel Regional Police and all the community organizations involved for prioritizing youth voices and working to ensure that every young person in Peel has a pathway to success. Thank you.
Thank you for those remarks, Kelly, and for your continued support and collaboration. It is sincerely appreciated. So again, Ms. Henderson is a member of our community of practice, and I just wanted to acknowledge all the partners that participate in that collaborative. I'm going to read out your agency name, and if you could just give a quick wave if you have someone from your organization here. So we have Seva Food Bank. Great, at the back. Mary Anthony, how are you? Associated Youth Services Appeal, of course, with Ms. Henderson. We have Peel CAS, who's here with us today. Erin Oak Kids, thank you. Our Place Peel, hello. Rescue Youth, hello, Ms. Abigail. Every Mind Child and Youth and Mental Health Services. Boys and Girls Clubs of Peel, thank you. The Peel District School Board. Great, thank you. The Peel Dufferin Catholic District School Board, hello. The Region of Peel, Inga. The City of Mississauga, great, there we are, many of you. And of course, the City of Brampton. So a round of applause for all of our community practice partners, please. I also want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Mississauga Ward 1 Councillor Stephen Dasco. Thank you for being here. So at its core, the goal of this strategy is to have a meaningful impact on the youth that we engage and serve every day, which is reflected in the strategy's mantra of nothing for youth without youth. In keeping with this ethos, today's launch would not be complete without hearing from a young person who's been actively engaged in some of the programming and initiatives offered through Peel Regional Police and the Youth Engagement Team. To provide this perspective, we're incredibly grateful to be joined by Mr. Emmanuel Shine, who has been a consistent participant in Peel Regional Police youth programming over the past couple of years. Emmanuel is currently a grade 12 student at St. Joseph Secondary School in Mississauga and plans to pursue a BBA at Wilfrid Laurier University next year. And we certainly wish him well with this next step and know that you're going to go on to do phenomenal things. So I would like to invite Mr. Emmanuel Shine to the stage and turn the podium over to you.
Man, I've heard my name so many times today, it doesn't feel like my own. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Emmanuel Shine, and it is an honor to stand before you all today. I'm truly grateful to share this platform with the distinguished members of the Peel Police and the community partners. Your commitment to service and the impact you made on the lives of so many, including my own, cannot be expressed in mere words, but I will try. I first connected with the officers at Peel, the Peel Police Youth Engagement Team about 2 years ago at a very difficult point in my life. A month after I turned 16, I was forced to leave my home. I spent many nights couch surfing and bouncing around shelters like our place Peel, but none of these places felt like home. During this low point in my life, I got involved with the wrong crowd. They acted as a substitute for the family that I didn't have the privilege of having. Survival meant making choices I wasn't proud of. I learned early in life that morality was a privilege that I couldn't afford. I found myself going deeper and deeper into a life of crime, and it took a miracle to get me out. Thankfully, God put people in my life that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. It is because of these adults, their patience, their trust, and their unwavering belief in me that I stand before you all today. At that time, even the simplest life goals felt out of reach. While all my friends were getting their G1s and taking out their parents' cars, I was worrying about what I would eat the next day. Fortunately, Children's Aid connected me with the Peel Police program that gave me the opportunity to earn my G1 driver's license. It was a 6-week program hosted by the Peel Regional Police and the Children's Breakfast Club that paid for my driver's license and provided much-needed mentorship along the way. This was a pivotal moment in my journey towards independence, but it didn't stop there. This wasn't just a program for me to get my G1. These officers went above and beyond, not because they were obligated to, not because their job descriptions said they had to, but because they genuinely cared. They took me under their wing, and those small acts of kindness paid huge dividends. With their guidance, I not only earned my G1, but took an important step in achieving my independence. A couple months later, the youth engagement team offered me another opportunity to get my G2. This was another program hosted by the Peel Police and CAA, where I received mentorship and an opportunity to receive in-car driving lessons and through a local driving school. I again successfully completed this class and became fully licensed as a G2 driver. I remained in contact with the officers I've met along the way and attended other programs offered by the Peel Police, such as a trade conference, which opened doors that I didn't know existed, such as plumbing, welding, and carpentry. These opportunities and programs with the Peel Police have made me comfortable in dealing with them, where in the past I was hesitant to do so. I'm a proud ambassador of the Peel Police, and I talk proudly about my experiences with them, and I constantly encourage my peers to view them in a positive light. Statistically, I shouldn't be here. I grew up homeless, bounced between shelters, and lived in bad neighborhoods my whole life. But because of the incredible people who took a chance on me, I am now on track to graduate high school with a 4.0 GPA. This fall, I will be attending Wilfrid Laurier to pursue a BBA, and this summer I am joining the Canadian Reserves and heading off to basic training. I am proud to be a Canadian, and I'm glad to serve my country and the community and the people that have given me so much. I owe a huge thank you to everyone who has been with me along this journey, but I especially want to acknowledge Ms. Messina from my school. She's my child and youth worker, and she did more than her job required. Even though her business hours were from 9 to 5, I knew that I could call her whenever, and she'd be there. Too often, systems fall short, but people don't, and Ms. Messina and all the officers here are living proof of that. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge my church, Logos Christian Family. They offered me guidance, encouragement, and a sense of belonging when I needed it the most. All of them, all these officers, my teachers, my school, and the community stepped in to take the place of the father and the mother I never had. And they shaped the love, wisdom, and care that shaped me into the man I am today. In conclusion, I would like this to be a testament to human resilience and love. Life isn't about the cards you're dealt, but how you play them. And to all the officers and the partners here, I just want to tell you that your work matters. Even in the smallest things, you guys make huge differences. You might not always see the impact you have, but I promise you it exists. You change lives in ways that you may never fully realize. And I should know, I am one of those lives you changed. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Emmanuel, thank you so much for that heartfelt story. And I know you've thanked a lot of people here today, but on behalf of Peel Regional Police, thank you for letting us work with you. You're an incredible young man, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Before we wrap up with some closing remarks from Deputy Chief Mark DePatt, I'd just like to ask Acting Superintendent of Community Safety and Wellbeing, Mr. Perez Ishmael, to join us for a moment just to provide some gifts to our speakers this morning as a small token of appreciation for taking the time to be here. So first, I would like to call up Miss Emily Mackenzie Brown. Thank you again for doing our land acknowledgement this morning. Thank you so much, Emily. Next, I'd like to call up Maddie Gortz and Beth Stockhill for their absolutely phenomenal rendition of O Canada today. Thank you so much. Next, Ms. Kelly Henderson from Associated Youth Services of Peel. As always, thank you for being here and for your collaboration. And Emmanuel, if you could join us up on stage again, thank you very much for your wonderful remarks this morning and your collaboration. Thank you. Fantastic. Now, to close out the day, I'd like to invite Deputy Chief of the Community Safety and Wellbeing Services Command, Mr. Mark DePatt, to the podium.
Good morning, everybody, and it's my duty to close off today's event. Thank you very much, John. You always do such an amazing job as the MC for these things. What an incredible day. I'd like to thank our chief, our police services board members, Acting Inspector Elaine Fowler, Kelly Henderson, of course, and Emmanuel. I really want you to know that while you were telling your story, it's very rare. There's a lot of people that come up here, share their stories. That's always really compelling. I was commenting to the chief when you were done that this is one of the very rare times that I really felt emotional. I felt this this shiver up my spine when you were telling your story. Thank you so much for the courage. Thank you for providing us with that context and the privilege to hear your story. I'd also like to offer my thanks to our working group and the dedicated group of amazing individuals and organizations that helped inform the strategy. A special shout out to our Corporate Communications Bureau, especially Ms. Roxanne Beaubien and Ms. Kathy Myron for supporting the strategy and helping us reach this point. I want to repeat what Chief Nish said earlier. We will continue to work with the community and our young people to enhance current programs and introduce new initiatives. A special message to all the youth, including you, Emmanuel. And I will say that I knew I was going to get along with you right away, Emmanuel, when I knew that we had shared interest in the basketball sneakers that you're wearing today. Although the Jordan 4s are really my favorite version. Look, your choice to participate in this work is a testament of your commitment to our community. You're here because you care about the issues that matter to you. And you also care about being involved in creating change and shaping the future. You should be very proud, because we are all very proud of you. You are leading impactful work to better the lives of other young people and our entire community at large. On behalf of everyone here and everyone that is paying attention, thank you. What is often forgotten, and I need to say this, is the fact that our police officers are so very enriched by every opportunity to strengthen our relationships to support youth. That's one of the main reasons why they became Peel Regional Police Officers. Chief Nish shared the story of how we happen to find ourselves in a similar program at the exact same time many, many years ago. We didn't even know each other then. We didn't know about this story until only a few years ago. In closing, thank you all once again for taking the time to join us. Thank you to our community partners, our community safety and well-being services, and everyone involved in making today happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions? I have microphones coming up. If you just want to raise your hand, just 1 second, we'll get you a microphone.
This is a question for the chief. We've seen a lot of youth charged with crime in the GTA recently. How is this engagement strategy going to address that issue?
Yeah, thank you. As Inspector Fowler, went through sort of the structure of the program, it vacillates between investments in social development, obviously prevention, and where we see opportunities to mitigate risk before it gets perhaps to its worst. We're obviously looking at that. The fourth pillar is our ability to respond to these type of incidents in the community in a far different way than we've done before. So yes, we do see, just like many communities, issues where there might be crime, or we've talked about behaviors that are indicate risk. And sometimes even social development related issues such as mental health or addictions related. And our approach is a shift to a far more trauma-informed response. We know that the impact of officers responding to crime or sometimes to incidents also can have a negative impact on families and young people too. So one of the efforts that we're looking at is to adjust our response with community partners, and where appropriate, maybe not even have us be the initial response to such situations, so that we can provide off-ramps to it where there might be behavior or risks, where we don't perpetuate perhaps the roadway that a young person might have. Where we may have to engage with other systems like the justice system, we want to make sure we utilize pathways like Ms. Henderson spoke to as diversion programs, where we can make sure that the individual is supported at the same time as also seeing some accountability. So it's a multitude of approaches that this strategy is going to drive us into that perhaps we weren't fully doing before. Yes. Sorry, go ahead. Nope.
Great, I got the mic, okay. I just want to expand on that a little bit. I'm just looking at some of the numbers in this brochure we were given. Almost 200 youth were arrested on firearm charges last year. I know that violent crime amongst youth has been on the rise, not only in Peel Region, but across the GTA. What is going on? Why are we seeing more and more youth involved in violent crimes and gun possession?
Yeah, this is an observation we obviously are fully alive to. And, there isn't a single response. So, for example, I think right across all communities in the Canadian context, access to things like firearms is far more prevalent. So just at its core basis is that if there was an inclination to be involved with criminal activity, perhaps even involved with firearms, the ability to access them is now exponentially greater. And just our proximity to the US, 99% of everything we see firearm related legally is coming from the US. So access is one thing. And then we do see young people being exploited by adults and so that is obviously a problem. If you just think of some of the things that we've seen high profile over the last year or two, at its root is people that are exploiting vulnerability. And I'm not displacing responsibility to other people, but that is a big focus for us, whether we're looking at auto theft or violent crime in our community, is to make sure we work our way back to the cause and the root of it, for sure.
Any other questions? Thank you all for attending today. We do encourage that you stick around and engage with our officers and the other community partners that are here. There will be a light lunch as well at the back in just a few moments, so thank you very much.